Hey man, say man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language, giving you the livest, latest news and information on sports and events. Now here we go. But wait a minute, y'all know the intro. If you got an opinion on what I'm about to say, you can debate me about it. If you disagree on what I'm about to say, you can debate me about it. Hold on. If you don't like what I say or what I'm about to say, debate me about it! Speaking of debating me about it, put it in the comment section. Hold on, the comment section. Yes. Speaking of the comment section, subscribe, like, share. I repeat, subscribe, like, and share. So you get your latest news information from your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language. Give you the livest, latest news information on sports and events. Now, here we go. Listen. Today, right now, I'm about to give her some information on Jaden Ivey. So far, we know about Jaden Ivey, him being waived. The young man who played for the Detroit Pistons, went to Chicago, and now has been waived. You can say waived, some may say released, but I'm going to say soon to be released. Now, here's the information on what I know so far. So, Jaden Ivey, who has been drafted, Jaden Ivey, who has played some, play ball for a little bit of time. I haven't really known about Jaden Ivey. He just came out on the radar based on this whole, I guess you can say, in a sense, how can I put it? Based on this, and never mind the rain, you guys, because I'm speaking loud as I can, but based on this kind of, let's just say, unwanted attention, unwanted publicity, and I wouldn't call it a scandal. This is not a major scandal, not like a Tiger Woods situation or a Michael Vick situation or a Antonio Brown situation. I won't call this a scandal, but I will call this unwanted major publicity. So Jaden Ivey, who is a young player, supposedly supposed to be on the rise. I won't say on the rise, but a good role player. Put up a buckets here and there. Playing for Chicago, has been waived for homophobic comments. Now, when I heard about this story, was I thinking like homophobic as in he's talking down on gay people? Not necessarily. It's because of his religious views. So Jaden Ivey, you can look this up. He has made countless of posts saying that I don't support the whole LGBTQ, saying that I don't support Pride Month. This whole situation started because of Pride Month, because the NBA has now been including the Pride Month, and I'm pretty sure at this point, when you see the rainbow, the NBA, I'm pretty sure, is putting the rainbow next to the NBA logo, or implementing the rainbow during Pride Month into their NBA logo, kind of like the NFL. Not even kind of. At this point, the NFL has done the same thing. I remember in college, shout out to FAU, I was in sports class. It's just sports class under a sports major, because that was my minor at that time, sports minor, sports studies, and it was the ideology or sports theory. I believe it was the sports theory class, and how some say sports and politics don't go hand in hand, but some actually rebuke that and say on the flip side, or on the other side, sports and politics do go hand in hand. And just think about it. Sports in the military, football in the military, basketball in the military, the veterans and sports go hand in hand. The warrior mindset, masculinity, black masculinity in sports. Shout out to my old professor. He gave me a book, by the way, which I gotta read. It's called the Revolt of the Black Athlete. Shout out to Dr. Jermaine Cole, or not Jermaine Cole, sorry, Dr. Jermaine Scott. Dr. Scott. Shout out to him. But yeah, I would say homosexuality or the LGBTQ has now been on the rise, of course, as a movement, not only in society, but also in the political field, political leaders. And of course, now you have laws that goes against homophobic comments. I mean, I think one day I seen a story about how somebody was doing graffiti in a LGBTQ community, and they had got fined. If he didn't pay the fine, he could have got arrested. You can look that up. I mean, it went from them being in San Francisco to Atlanta to now you have the Wilton Manors and Fort Lauderdale. If you know, you know. So I say that to say this: the LGBTQ community they're everywhere now. You can't talk against them. You can't talk down them. It's just better to be quiet. And that's word of the day, advice for the day. That's on any political viewpoint, whether it comes to race, whether it comes to political views, whether it comes to religious. Just keep your mouth closed. But some people have the need to say things, and Jaden Ivey was one of those people. It's no secret. like I said, the NFL and NBA have included, even when I forgot his name, the Brooklyn Nets player, when he came out as gay, or even when Sam something, I forgot his name. He was one of the first. He was a black man coming out of Missouri. He was a defensive player. He was one of the first, if not the first, homosexual drafted player coming into the league, and he went from being first round lottery to drop because not the scandal, but because teams didn't want to draft him. Maybe because they were homophobic, maybe because it was new, or maybe because the players may feel uncomfortable. Now you got to take a shot with this guy who so happened to be openly gay, if you know what I mean. So with Jaden Ivey saying that not go against the NBA, but I'll go against promoting something that goes against his religion, and I'm assuming he's a Christian because he keeps saying Jesus. This now has caused a rift between him and the NBA, but I wouldn't even say a rift. He got cut from the NBA. Now there's reasons why. Jaden may feel some type of way, and there's reasons why the NBA may feel some type of way. Now I done gave you mostly facts. I'm gonna give you my opinion. You know how I do my videos. This percentage facts and that percentage opinion. I would say 50-50 this time. It's facts and opinion. Because I'm not gonna make this a long video. I'm just gonna give you what I know, what I heard, and what my opinion. So I already gave you what I've heard and what I've seen based on stories, based on podcasts, and based on alleged, pretty much just alleged actions and events that have happened, and also videos that Jaden Ivey had posted up. Now Jaden Ivey, has been signed in the NBA. It's a question if another team is gonna pick him up, for one. For two, Jaden Ivey has been in front of, I think, the United Center preaching now, like how some of these people be in college saying that the hell is coming soon or Jesus coming back with those picket signs. Now he's preaching. His wife has left him. Jaden Ivey sadly has thought about committing suicide, he said, because now he has lost his job, meaning that he lost his streaming income, which he was making millions, if not millions, 100,000s, because you know, Uncle Sam make 1 point something million, depending on where you live, 50 to 60K goes in taxes. If you know, you know, but still good money nonetheless, right? Everybody has pretty much counted him out. Steph Curry has been mentioned in this, but also Jaden Ivey has mentioned Anthony Edwards, which you're gonna go back to that. We're gonna make that a full circle. Jaden Ivey has mentioned something about Anthony Edwards. We're gonna go back full circle. This is all alleged, by the way. So here's my opinion on this. I feel like Jaden Ivey may never get another opportunity. Here's why. Because not only did you talk about the NBA promoting something that you go against, but you also talked about a certain community that you go against. Now here's my thing. I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, you like whatever you like. We don't need to know what you like. But also when it comes to three things that my mother has always taught me, never open my mouth about, especially in the workplace. You don't talk about politics. You don't talk about sexuality. No, you talk about religion. And this is a situation that Jaden Ivey has brought up, not only sexuality, but also religion. The reason why Jaden Ivey's situation is so touchy is because he's not verbally saying, I hate you know what. Because hate is a strong word. I don't think he comes off as, I don't like the LGBT community. He's saying that the NBA is telling us to promote this, or we're involved in promoting something that to me is a great sin, right? Such as murder, such as the going against the 10 Commandments in the Christian world, such as thou shalt not lie, steal, kill, etc., etc. So he feels that, why am I promoting this? And I'm not going to be a part of this. So now the NBA said, okay, cool. You don't want to be a part of promoting this, and you talk about this. We're gonna take this as homophobic comments, and we're gonna cut you. And I feel like, the NBA could have just fined him in a sense, because people feel some type of way. I just think you put it to the internet. But then again, the NBA don't want to make it seem like, because let's just say the NBA just fined him and they kept him. Let's be honest. Who's to say you have people who are part of the LGBT community that are investors in the NBA? The good old boys. Who's to say some of them, whether you may say they on the DL, or whether you want to say they or have respect for the LGBT community, and now you just find him, you don't cut him. Who's to say that people who are watching the games, we're talking about streaming, we're talking about digitally watching, we're talking about buying memberships, NBA.com, to watch NBA games, right? Who's to say they will feel offended? Now we live in a day and age of cancel culture. It's not called blackballing anymore, cancel culture. So let's just say an alternative world or alternative decision that they just fine him $50,000 and they keep him and say, don't do that again because our viewers who are part of the LGBT community feel that's homophobic and offensive. Just because you have the same religion doesn't mean we shouldn't promote them or be hand to hand with that community. Now, let's just say the LGBT community, the powers that be like, oh, we're going to boycott. And now that's unwanted attention from a certain community to the NBA that the NBA does not need. Think about it. The NBA was the main league. Remember when George Floyd situation happened, God rest his soul? Now we're putting on shirts on Black Lives Matter. We're taking a knee. Before the NBA wasn't even taking a knee. And this is way after, guess what? Colin Kaepernick gets cut for taking a knee. Don't y'all see the full circle moment? Same thing with the NFL. Now they're putting on the back of their jerseys, on the back of their helmets, it takes all of us, or no hate, things like that. Now all of a sudden they're hand in hand in politics. I thought NFL, the NBA, other mainstream sports don't deal in politics. But you see how, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to talk down, because this is what I do. I talk about sports, give information on sports, but if I'm going to give you my opinion, I'm going to give you my raw opinion. Isn't it funny how when certain things happen, whether it be a political world, whether it be protesting, the sports kind of shy away from that. But when something major happens and it may hurt their pockets, if they're not standing with somebody, they're going to look at them as, are you standing against? So we're not going to watch you guys. But hey, you know what? We're going to make a scene like we're with you guys. We're going to put on, oh, we all love, or promote the LGBTQ, or take a knee. When before they like, oh, that don't have nothing to do with us. Now, it's one thing if an individual player says or does something like how, shout out to LeBron, Chris Paul, Carmelo, and Dwayne Wade for standing up. That's, I think, after the Mike Brown or the Eric Garner situation. God rest both of those black men's souls. They took time out of the ESPYs and did it on a major platform. And I respect that because we have to raise an awareness. Shout out to black athletes doing that. Even though we shouldn't have to look for athletes and celebrities to say something, it helps a lot. But I remember the next morning, I think it was on the Ricky Smiley show. Yeah, it had to have been in the Ricky Smiley show. Man, I remember those days. People were like, where was MJ? Where was MJ? You see what I'm saying? So, and then years later, after George Floyd, MJ shoots a commercial. I think he was in Paris or something, saying it takes all of us. We stand against hate. So, I say that to say this. When it hits people's pockets, people are going to fake the funk, or people are going to make it seem like they're revolutionaries when it hits their pockets. When people say, oh, he's not down with us, we don't support him. But now, just imagine you talking against somebody, or in their mind, you talking against them. And that's what Jaden Ivey that's the position Jaden Ivey put himself in. The LGBTQ feel like you're talking against them. So even though like I said, you watch the videos, it doesn't seem like he's coming off in a hateful way. It seems like he's just saying in his religion, I'm not going to promote it. But in my opinion, and I was talking to some people, some colleagues of mine, and Jaden Ivey didn't have to say anything. It wasn't smart for him to say nothing. Jaden Ivey, man, you should have kept it P. You should have kept it private. You should have kept it solid. Now look at you. Your wife has left you, which is kind of sad. I don't know why. She should. That's not a good woman to me. But that's just neither here say. Secondly, teams aren't gonna want to touch you because of the negative publicity that may come with that. And for three, bro, did they tell you to put on a rainbow cake? Are they saying you have to sit next to the LGBTQ? Are they saying you have to say, oh, we probably support the LGBT? No, they're shooting commercials. They're saying that this is Pride Month and we're celebrating. Bro, Pride Month comes and goes. So, all honesty, Jaden Ivey, bro, this was not worth it, brother. You could have just kept your mouth closed. Now, privately, I'm pretty sure some of those dudes in the locker room feel the same way. Because recently, he was at a Detroit Pistons game, and they was all dapping him up, saying, hey, man, how you been? Chopping it up. Lil Boosie in them. But guess what, Jaden Ivey? They're not going to cut your checks. Guess what, Jaden Ivey? They're not going to pay your bills. Guess what, Jaden Ivey? They're not going to look out there for you. They're not going to help you. To all my people that's watching this, keep your mouth closed. If it's not a cause worth losing your money for, dying for, bro, don't say nothing at all if it doesn't affect you. Now, if you're your own boss, okay, then you can say something. If you're pushing a movement, then you can say something. But all these people that probably feel the same way won't say nothing, and you'll be the one to lose your job. I remember my grandfather and my mother included used to give me advice. When you're in a workplace, and let's just say a coworker may have a problem, right? And you may have the same problem he got with the manager or with the CEO himself, and you want things to be changed. Don't be hopping on nobody else's. Let me try to explain this the best way I can. Do not co-sign what somebody else says, whether y'all have the same problem or not. Do not, let's just say somebody pull you to the side and say, oh, we need to say something about this, right? And y'all go to the office. And then by the time y'all get to the office, you be like, well, you say something, Keon, or you say something, KJ. So here I go say something, the problem that I have or that we have. Now the boss or the manager feels some type of way because they may look at you as, how dare you say this? And then they say, okay, since you feel some type of way, or since you don't like what we got going on here, the way we operate things in this establishment, you're fired. And guess what? The person that hyped you up to do it or hyped you up to say something, they be like, dang, man, sorry to hear that. Well, I guess I'm going to get back to my job then. They not going to say, oh, since y'all going to fire him, I quit too. That's rarely happens. That's like a 1% chance of that happening. Or another scenario. Let's just say you talk amongst your coworkers. You talk amongst the other employees and y'all got the same problem, right? It takes that one person. He goes to the manager and mention all the names who got the same problem and say, we had this, that problem. Y'all didn't even say nothing. Y'all didn't tell him to go do that or tell her to go do that. And she does it. Now they say, okay, guess what? You don't like how we operate in this establishment that's been here for over 40 to 30 to 50 years? All right, cool. Y'all all fired. Now you go to that person and get mad and be like, bro, why would you mention my name? I had a problem with it, but I didn't say go to the boss. And then the person gonna be like, well, I thought if I mentioned all our names and how many people that had a problem with it, that they would have changed. No, we got a problem with it, but we didn't say we're gonna quit. So I said to say this, keep your opinions to yourself. Look at use Jaden Ivey as an example of not to talk about sexuality, religion, and politics. Keep your mouth closed, because those are going to be the ones to get fired. Those are going to be the ones that may offend somebody who may be their boss and be like, and they don't even have to give you a reason. They can just use any other reason to fire you. So Jaden Ivey, man, you done lost the opportunity just because you have your own opinions about something, just because you may not agree with a certain lifestyle. And it's okay to not agree with a certain lifestyle. Just keep your mouth closed. They cut you checks, bro. You don't have to live like them. You don't have to act like them. But hey, man, it's your boy KJ. This is my thoughts and opinions on this subject matter. And tell me what you think about Jaden Ivey and what you think is going to happen to him and what you think should be his next move. Because hopefully it may not be his best move, but let's hope it will be. But hey, man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language, give you the livest, latest news information on sports and events. And if you got an opinion on what I say or said, debate me about it. If you disagree on what I just said, debate me about it. If you don't like on what I say or said, debate me about it. Speaking of debating me about it, put it in the comment section. In the comment section, like, comment, subscribe. I repeat, like, comment, subscribe. And I'm out. Deuces.